Greetings and salutations, good people. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. It's a bit late, but we out here and we back at it. And of course, as always, as a disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. Please do your own homework, consult the proper parties when and if you want to make investment decisions. Moving on, as we're looking here at the Nvidia chart, because earnings is tomorrow. I don't know what time earnings are, but it's tomorrow. And looking back on the order flow, as you can see, large scale orders in the last 5 days. That's actually a billion because it's in million US dollars. So 5 billion spent on Nvidia today, 8/26. So obviously these people are expecting a big earnings and expecting it to go crazy and all that good stuff. So what I just been doing in the last 30, 60 minutes is taking notes on financials on the income statement, because the income statement correlates with the earnings report. And I had it on annual. So going to quarterly based on the last quarter results, which came out on my birthday. Yay. Also, my new circle joint, it's like the little shit on the edges. I thought I was almost right on point with them. I don't know how to get those off, but trying something new, trying something different. I don't know if I shouted it out or noted it in the last video, but yeah. I thought that shit was cool, at least. The actual real circle was cool, but yeah, moving on. So quarter one, 7 days after 420, 427. They checked in with 44.06 billion, which is an increase on all the previous quarters, which is a good sign. And basically from my notes, because I'm obviously still learning, still trying to improve, all that good stuff. The income statement reveals obviously what they made before taxes, what they made after taxes. So their gross profit was 26.83 after the deductions of the, I'm gonna have to look at my notes here. So yeah, the revenue minus the cost of goods. So the cost of revenue total was 17.23. So I want to throw this in my calculator real quick for the sake of that. So 44.06 minus cost of revenue total, I think that's 17.23, which is 26.83. Sorry for the light and the backwardsness, but that's where we have the 26.83. And then moving down to the operating income, which is the gross profit minus the operating expenses. So that's 26.83 minus 5.19, which brings us to 0.64 billion. Which this is quarter one of this year, which is a slight decrease based on quarter four of last year. However, that has increased on all the previous quarters, and considering this is, I believe market cap wise, I think it is the most words I want to use, expensive company on the market to trade. So my indication and guess is obviously not a professional here, but I think they'll do good. The stock is on a goddamn heater. The 52-week high was on August 12th, which was 2 weeks ago from today. And it's pretty much testing right there. So for that reason, let's throw a line on there. Horizontal line, 184.48. Done. This is the day chart. Then we'll go over to the hour and see that it is indeed trending closer and closer to the 52-week high, which was back here on the 12th at at close. Interesting. So yeah, and then here, if we were to put another line here, it's starting to flirt on that resistance line. So considering all things, people obviously love Nvidia, me included. I have over 11 shares of it myself. Looking at the options, let's go over to the statistics. You have 1.49 million today and 18.36 million in total open interest. So the most liked call is 180 strike. So this is right in the money. Damn, 51,000 volume today. So I also learned that in recent studies. Like when you see volume, that's how much was traded in the previous day. And the open interest is how much people are basically betting on it, but looking to trade it. The volume here is absolutely insane. I mean, you even got 23,000 open interest on 205 for this Friday strike price. So let's go over the watch list real quick. And look, I'm already clicked on Nvidia. So after hours, it went up 0.31%. And overnight, it is currently up to 53%. It closed at 181.77. Let's go over to verify that. So yeah, it did close at 181.77. I'm starting to enjoy the 30-minute chart as well. So at 8 o'clock, closed at 182. And at 10 o'clock, it went all the way up to 182.88. It has since came down in this hour to, no, its lowest was 182.62. So just pennies as that's going on, but as we can see, it is getting closer to that resistance line, and it is right above the 10 candle average moving. That's also something I learned. I was wondering why the moving averages change per time chart, but it's the same difference as a day chart. So this is the 30-minute chart, the MA10. The moving average will be just the last 10 candles of the last 30 minutes. So what's that, basically 3 hours and some change or some shit if I had to guess. But yeah, so then we got our doji right here of indecision, and then a nice candle price moving up 1% on the 22nd, and then it's keeping on rising. So yeah, we're 8 minutes in, and so just to go back on the annual chart, this shit doubled from 2024. 60 billion, 61 billion basically, 130 and a half, so double plus some. And then their cost of revenue, so their gross profit was 98 billion, almost 98 and a half. And then their operating income 81, and then when you go down to the net income is what they made. Checking my notes. Yes. So the net income is what's left after all expenses are taken out. This is the company's profit. So they shitted on 2024. 2023 was an absolute joke compared to drop in the bucket. So going over the quarterly. So they stepped back some based on the fourth quarter of last year. First quarter this year. However, they improved in all the previous years. So by my very novice estimations, I like Nvidia's earnings to be strong. And as you know, if you're closely to a vet investor, news moves the needle, and it probably will move the needle. Also considering that $5 billion was spent today. Crazy work. Shout out to Nvidia. I got in I might have got in somewhere around like 90, somewhere in here. And I'm up. Let me actually check. I am up, and after this, we're going to close out for this session as we're likely approaching 10 minutes. I don't like to talk people's head off too much. I'm up $32 on Nvidia today, and I am up 63.13% overall. My average price is $112.01. So, yeah, shout out to Nvidia. Shout out to everybody. Rock with me. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, help the channel grow, help me grow, help us all make some money, help our accounts grow. And yeah, peace, love, and blessings. We out.